Happy New Year, everybody. We're back. It was an interesting fucking December for sure. Lost a very good friend, died New Year's Eve. His name was Pat Molden. He was a clearance diver with Fleet Diving Unit Pacific. Also a friend of Greg Bonzi from Tripping with Bonzi, for those of you that know him. So that sucked. Pat was recovering from drug addiction. He'd been in and out of drug addiction issues that he was dealing with. And he was 100 days sober as of, I think, November 28th when I read his last post on Instagram. And him and his dad were going to the grocery store to pick up few last minute things for Christmas Eve dinner. And Pat wasn't feeling well. His dad went in, came back out, and Pat had passed away. So his funeral was last Monday. And he got a good send off. So it was that was one thing among a few. But outside of that, and I'm heading to Hamilton tomorrow to meet up with the guys from the network, Mr. Ryan Lindley, Dean Blundell, and a few other people, and also more importantly to meet with Bonzi and hopefully get a chance to see to visit Pat's grave because I did miss the funeral. So yeah. Anyway, let's get that kind of news out of the way and move on with the new year. Some big changes coming up with the network and some changes and improvements to how I'm doing things. So without further ado, let's bring the boys in. Sorry, I have no mouse. I'm using this fucking trackpad. Mr. Bryce Hooper and Mr. Morgan Warren. What's going on, gents? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy Festivus, whatever the fuck you say. Welcome to 23.
Looking snazzy as always there, the Blue Rocketeer.
I do what I can.
Are you back at work?
Did we coordinate tonight or what? You gotta fucking send me notes.
Oh yeah, you guys shop at the work warehouse together or what? Fuck that.
All the way up though, all the way up. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, you gotta do that cholo shit. Get the gangster thing. It's good. Top button. We gotta get you some bandanas, man. We'll really get it down on. How was the holidays?
Pretty good. It was interesting for me. I mean, it was busy, but it was good. My folks were in town from Newfoundland, so that was nice.
Oh, right on. Did you do that?
Nice.
What's that fucking thing they do around Christmas where they go drinking at each other's houses?
Oh, mummering?
That?
Did
you go?
Yeah, mummering. No.
I
thought you were talking about Tibbs Eve or something like that on 23rd.
Tibbs Eve. Explain to everybody that's listening, watching, what Tibbs Eve is, because I just found out about this.
It's like it's just a pre-Christmas party on It's on the 23rd of December. You know.
Yeah, Newfies just need to fucking make shit
basically,
up. Go drink at each other's houses, man.
You go get drunk at your friend's house so that way you can recover during your time with your family.
Yeah.
That's called fucking Thursday at my house. I pick up James P. White at the radio station at 95.7 Cruise FM, and after he's done his morning shift, I take him to JT's Bar and Grill. He slams about 4 pints. He passes out in the truck because he's been up since 3:30 on the Henday going here. Then we have about 4 more beer. We record his Jedi Jimmy podcast. And then he continues drinking till fuck knows when.
Holy.
And then goes home usually by 8 or 9 that night and shows up like a bag of hammers for work the next day. And that is weekly fucking routine, man.
Wow.
Yeah. 2023. So today, before we came on, this day in history, Mr. Bryce Hooper joined the military in 2002.
Yeah, absolutely. Flew out from Kelowna.
Tell the story.
So at that point, it had been almost a year in the works. I had officially signed all my paperwork on September 10th, 2001 in Kelowna, BC at the recruiting center there. And everybody knows the infamous day, the following day. I showed up for work at the local IGA in Summerland, BC, and got a phone call from the recruiting office saying that I was on my way to Saint-Jean, Quebec.
Wow. How was that?
What a culture shock. Yeah, absolutely, dude. That was the big one. I was dressed like it was BC still, and it was like -30 when I showed up there with long hair. So,
Oh yeah, Quebec's cold in the winter, man. I made the mistake
Yeah.
of showing up in February for a sub-area tasking conference fucking bullshit thing and did not pack accordingly. Hey, we got some
Yeah.
good to see.
Yeah, everybody's jumping on there. Yeah,
And it was during Carnival, so everybody wanted to go downtown, and I had like this lightweight jacket because I had this misconception that it was warm there, and it was fucking freezing. Man, I'm like, I fucking hate this. It wasn't cool.
Yeah.
It wasn't fun.
it was a great
Hey,
welcome
Ryan.
to
Hello,
the
Danielle.
to the military.
Yeah,
When did you guys join?
July 1st, 88, Canada Day was my swear-in date.
Morgan?
Which time? Is he locked up?
I think he's frozen.
Well, this is perfect because our theme tonight is
Maybe.
going to be tech, and we need.
Hey, no, I have
Oh,
a mic
you
turned
are
off. that's
there.
all.
Oh, you had your
No, I
mic
said
off.
I don't even exactly remember like the exact day. I know it was in October
Really?
1999, and there you go.
Damn.
Well, I actually the only reason I remember it is because it was Canada Day. So it's an easy one to fucking remember.
Yeah.
And here we are. Welcome everybody who's watching and
Yeah.
listening. Well, we're trying to get our shit together. We haven't done this. When the
Handful.
fuck did we do this last? The 21st. So
2 or
I'm
3
still in the
weeks.
fog. Still in the fog.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about tech. A couple things drove me to this topic tonight. And I was hoping JT was here because he's like the most high tech guy in this group. And I'm dealing with the most low tech guys in this group, which is okay. I had a DJ gig Sunday night for a staff party, JT's Bar and Grill. And my Surface Pro, which is in front of me, was not doing fucking well and crashed with this new software update. So dead air. It had to reboot a few times. Like you can't be getting the crowd pumping and then your shit all dies. It's like in the middle of banging a chick and then you get a fucking leg cramp, right? Everything stops.
You just pull the buffering.
Yep.
It's okay.
Fuck, hang on, just give me a minute. I need some water and shit. I gotta stretch it out, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah. So the
Massage my
fucking
leg.
crowd
Massage
goes
my
there.
leg.
Yeah. So I'm losing my mind. I'm like, fuck. So guess what, boys? I'm back on the CanX plan. Just when I thought I escaped. So the CanX plan is a no interest loan for military guys and veterans through the Canadian Exchange. The CanX is the military department store. And we spend most of our careers trying to fucking get out of owing them money. And I'm sucked back in. So I bought a MacBook Pro, like fucking the high end, not the highest end, because that's way out of my pay range, but enough to have all the fucking horsepower and bells and whistles to do all the video editing, all the other shit I want to do, including that DJ shit. So I kind of want to get into, and I was watching Dean's show on Monday, and they had this Mark, I can't remember his last name. He's like their tech guy, and he goes down to this nerd fest in Vegas every year and shows you all the latest shit that's coming out. And there was these laptops that's basically 2 touch screens. It doesn't have a keyboard. So it can go like full screen like this. And then this weird thing was this pillow that breathes. You'd be into this shit, Bryce. It's this pillow that fucking contracts and expands and breathes to make you allegedly sleep better.
Salzman. Yeah. The guy from the 90s from YTV.
Oh, you know about this?
Yeah, and Danielle's up all in the comments as well with the answer too.
Okay,
but 100%
Danielle was watching this,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I will put a fucking shotgun round through that pillow if somebody bought me one of those. I do not like AI. AI.
I think we should grab a couple and do a demo like that. I'd love to see that.
Take them to the fucking range. AI scared. I'm a tech guy, right? So in the 90s, I had a side hustle. I learned computers. I worked for one of the first internet companies in Edmonton back then. TIC Internet, Trans International Communications. This is the bullshit acronym, which became Hearthstone Consulting, and I worked for them, and I was doing networking. So this is all side hustle from outside the military. I was making good money, and I blew it all in the bars back then. That was in my 20s. And I also taught at NAIT, at the NAIT Microcomputer Institute. That's the Northern Alberta Institute of Technology, for continuing education, and taught web design, network security, operating systems, fucking blah, and a bunch of other shit. And then op tempo got too high and my side hustles had to go die off. So I still consider myself semi-tech savvy, but the learning curve these days is not quite, it's not there yet. So I kind of want to bounce off you guys, and you guys can jump in that are watching right now too. What's the big piece of tech? And it could be minor to you, or it could be minor in the grand scheme of things, that like you bought in the last year. I bought a lot of fucking shit. You guys have seen it all when you're over here. And we'll get into that later on for those people who want to do podcasts. So what do you think the biggest piece of tech? And I think Bryce is going to say some fucking weed inhaler thing that fucking talks to your watch and tells you when you need to get high.
Oh, wouldn't that be nice? No, that sounds like a smartphone app thing that you talk to, and it sets your dab rig up where it's time to get high, Bryce. It's set it ready to go.
Yeah, man. You need one of those.
No, I got nothing like that.
The Apple Watch that tells you your life sucks and tells you, Bryce, you should light a fatty up, man. You look depressed.
It's time to go. No, tech wise, not really a high tech guy. I've bought in some motorcycle parts, not really high tech stuff.
I don't know. A tuner is pretty high tech.
Yeah, no, I had one of those already. It was a replacement horn that's back to a stock. I tried to put one of those fancy train horns on it, and it blew whatever the fuck it blew. So I just went and put a new stock one. Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the best. No shit. No fucking doubt, right? I'm afraid to ask Morgan what the highest piece of tech he's bought this year.
Right. Yeah, my highest fucking piece of tech. I don't know, fucking a car with power windows in it. Fuck.
Yeah.
Nothing trigger related.
Yeah.
No, I mean, even realistically, nice. Even an AR-15 was designed in the 50s, so I mean, like, come on, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get into that too. I want to talk about, not yet, but I want to talk about tech.
That's pretty cool, Danielle.
Military tech, record. Which is I want to see. See, I'm sorry, I got this fucked up computer here.
It's okay, dude. She got a turntable that digitizes your records onto your computer. That's pretty.
Shut the cool, fuck up. That is pretty wild.
With the crackle and pops, though, does it capture it or does it fuck with the audio?
Yeah, Danielle, go on about this.
Yeah, because if it crackles and pops like it's an actual
like the old school record player, like if it captures that, if it just sounds like a fucking CD, well, who cares? But if it maintains that, that's pretty cool.
That is pretty damn cool, yeah.
There's a lot of neat
Chris, I think I've actually kind of gone back in time. Like, people are getting in a lot of our friends are buying like brand new Harleys, and they've got nav and hill assist and all kinds of crazy shit. Even like ABS brakes on a motorcycle. I mean, that's like next.
I don't even have that on my fucking Street Glide.
Yeah. I mean, your Street Glide's a bit older, but I mean, like, I went in a full, everybody went with these brand new bikes. I went in the opposite direction. And I'm riding a fucking
you're buying older shit.
Yeah.
But I mean, when you talk, okay, you're a sniper. I was watching this thing on fucking Modern Warfare or whatever. Like, they got these scopes now that any idiot can kill somebody a million miles away with this GPS shit and all that stuff.
Even a trucker?
Even
I mean, like theoretically, yes, right? But I mean, I've been involved with like procurement for some of the new sniper weapon systems, and I mean, I kind of I dabble on the side, so it's a bit of a passion of mine anyway, like long range shooting. I mean, outside of the military, so I mean, I'm well aware of the technology that's there, but I mean. I see where they're going with it, but the technology is not there. Like, in an absolute perfect, like, laboratory conditions, can this, scope and can all this software and this hardware, I guess, for as well, make these shots with like a monkey behind the trigger? Sure. But like in field conditions, when you got like a bit of a breeze or it's below 0 degrees, like
Well, that's just it. You got all the meteorological effects of.
yeah.
I don't want to get.
And I
into
mean, at the end of the
ballistics for
day,
everybody, but
yeah, I mean, because a ballistic calculation, like a trig, I mean, that's a trig problem. That's a simple mathematical equation, and assuming you don't have any flaws in the machining processes of your equipment, and your equipment is good equipment.
Yeah.
You dial your elevation on your scope, you pull your shot. But the thing that a lot of these devices can't account for is wind, because if you're shooting something 2 miles away, I mean, if you were to put a wind flag every 100 meters, you're going to see like,
sure.
20 wind flags going in every different direction all the way out there. So like your bullet's actually kind of going like that, So I mean, so yeah, you know the wind at the location you're at, and you hope to know. A lot of that just comes from experience, right? And
Yeah.
I'm not saying it'll never be possible, but I think like as it stands right now, like there's certainly nothing on the civilian market or nothing that the powers that be are releasing that allows us to do
not
it.
on the civilian market. This is all
No.
like neat idea shit on the next evolution. We'll
No,
get into that.
like I mean, I don't know how familiar you are with like a lav turret or like a leopard turret. You know how they've got this function called stab.
Yeah, well, I understand stab. Yeah,
So it'll track a target, and as you're going cross country, your vehicle is going like that, but your barrel stays locked on your target.
I can explain stab for you civvies watching this.
Yeah.
So you're driving down the road with your beer or your Tim Hortons, and you're going over the bumps, and you know how you do this so you don't spill the shit all over your fucking lap? That stab.
Yeah, that's redneck stab.
Redneck
But
stab
like-
on. Yep.
Yeah, but there are
Was that
Yeah.
invented by the
Stab-
Germans?
Stab's not even new tech, but basically when a tank or armored fighting vehicle with a gun on it is going like this, the barrel stays on target no matter what. So the chassis is going like that,
and the barrel stays level.
The barrel stays on it. That's not even really new tech, I wouldn't say.
Yeah. Like there's
Yeah.
I mean, you can look it up later. There's a system, and it's actually like anybody can purchase it. I believe it's called Tracking Point, and it's essentially like that. Like when you'll laser your target, when your crosshairs actually line up with the target, it'll actually release the bullet. So
What?
I mean, how effective it is, how robust it is, I have no idea. But if you want to see something interesting, in a rifle platform, yeah, just Google or I believe it's on YouTube. You can look up Tracking Point.
I like
Tracking
to,
Point rifles, and it's pretty cool. Like especially when you see like their promotional videos, you're like, wow, like you can pretty much put this in anybody's hand and they're like a sniper.
Well, I prefer to stay within 200 meters and hunt with point and click interface, as we call it.
Yeah.
That's too much shit for me. Yeah. I bought a lot of fucking shit in the last couple of years. So I always knew computers and IT and stuff like that. And I got my new MacBook Pro set up and it talks to my Mac Mini and life's good. I spent all night doing that. The learning curve was all this stuff, cinematography, audio, which is still a work in progress, right? And if anybody watching wants to get a pod going, and I know a lot of people that are watching right now or listening do, because I've had people reach out to me, you do not have to spend a fucking $1 million on tech, right? What you need is a decent webcam, a Logitech C922 like this. What was it, $110 or something like that, if that. Microphones, that's a personal choice. There's a lot out there, but nothing under a Blue Yeti, which I don't think's that great of a mic, but it's pretty good. And they're come down in price. They're like $140 right now on Amazon.
Yeah, that's exactly what I use, the Blue Yeti.
Yeah. And you have that deep, rich voice anyway. Like you don't sound like fucking me. So you're doing great.
Yeah.
But yeah, I tend to I'm attracted to shiny shit. I'm not gonna lie. I'm that shiny shit guy. Oh fuck, look at that. That's the greatest thing ever. I need this. And I made a lot of mistakes over the last couple of years. Like I bought 2 gimbals. First one doesn't work with my camera. I gotta sell that. The second one, I probably didn't need to buy it right away. right? There's other things I should be doing for filming first. So, but that's like, don't get sucked into that fucking trap where you're chasing shiny shit. And it's a lot of people do that, right? And fucking lighting and this and that, and my second mics. I got 48 sets of lav mics and all this other garbage that I probably shouldn't have bought right away. I should have eased into it. So if you want to start a pod, get a good mic. Don't cheap out on your microphone. Get a decent webcam if you're gonna do if you want to do video. If you're just gonna do audio, buy a good audio recorder. I bought a Zoom H6. That's not cheap. You don't need one that high end because I have multiple purposes for that. So if you're just doing audio, get 2 good mics, right? If it's just you and somebody else, and a half decent audio recorder, fuck, you're off to the races. If you want to do video, yeah, you might want to put some money into what your backdrop looks like, your lighting setup looks like. And a Logitech C922 is cheap, and it's got a nice wide field of view, and it picks up everything pretty good. So, but don't go fucking ballistic on the amount of shit that I got into. But the stuff I'm doing a lot more than this. I just did my first music video, which just got him his first gig, by the way. So fucking big congrats to Mr. Jake Buckley. He put that video I did for him on his webpage. And he's already locked into 1 gig. So he's got his money's worth out of it, right? So I spent a lot of time to do this.
Congrats, dude. That paid off.
Yeah. No, I'm happy. And after I watched it and reviewed it, I would have redid it 5 different ways, but it was what it was. Let's get into kind of the point I wanted to get into was tech you wish you had when you were still running and gunning or doing your thing. And it could be from any decade for those of us that span 3 or 2 or whatever. And I'll lead this off. Because I have a fucking drone now. It's actually an older drone by today's standards. I got a DJI Phantom 4K. And by the way, I'm a fucking horrible drone pilot. When I got this thing, like I crashed into fucking Sean Ellis's head. Good thing he had training wheels on it. I was trying to land it, but I was watching the monitor and it just went boom right into his skull. I flew into a fucking tree. Like I'm a shit drone pilot because I haven't put enough time into learn how to fly it. But I'll tell you guys right now, if I would have had a drone in Afghanistan, like we had drones, the Predators that blew people up.
Yeah.
I'm talking about a fucking
we had those pretend ones that the Air Force were flying around.
Well,
those
styrofoam were like surveillance things. That thing that through Jen, she's still watching, knows what it was because she worked in that cell that ran those things. I'm talking a portable little ass drone that I could send down range on a fucking IED, put it in orbit, and look for secondary devices and keep eyes on all the time. Because what we use is this $1 billion bomb robot, which is a good piece of kit, don't get me wrong, but it's meant to go down, give you a visual of a bomb, and then it's got a bunch of disruptors and claws and neat shit on it to help take it apart, but it does not give you that nice view that a fucking drone would have. And you could apply that drone tech to reconnaissance guys, recce guys, anybody, man. Like, fuck, that would have been the shit to have that. So that's I wish I had.
Man, to have even a GPS.
You guys keep talking. I'll be right back. My dog's whining.
Any kind of GPS when I was driving VIPs or driving any kind of officer around and not having to memorize so much of a route or have to do route recce's of any kind. If you just kind of plug it in, you got, here's 3 different routes. This is all you have to do. That'd be a time saver for sure. What else? What is something that you'd want?
I'm dying here. I can a glass of water. How about that? But
that's what's going to get you. Water.
Yeah, get you. I mean, tech-wise, realistically, like honestly, if we could have had better comms, so which would allow us to go longer ranges, whether that's like TACSAT or actual crypto capable like HF comms radios, so we don't have to worry about repeaters or like RRBs or shit like that. And I mean, I don't even know what I don't know, but just like more reliable comms. I mean, how many times in Afghanistan,
Yeah.
like as part of your pace plan, like half the time, like nothing worked, and here you
There
are
was
with
no comms.
a sat phone, trying to call in a goddamn fire mission, because radio's failing, right?
Oh,
You
I don't know
know?
how many times, even on a logistics resupply, or the CLPs as they called it, the
Yeah,
clips.
yeah,
Um, Man, all of the radios would be down, and there'd be no communication whatsoever. And it
yeah.
would be one main vehicle who may have comms with a camp if you're close enough, kind of thing. But that's about it.
Yeah. It's not so like yeah, so for me, like I mean, and we always had issues with like handsets and headsets. Like, I mean, maybe if just like you're issued, your rifle with your serial number, if everybody was issued like their own throat mic and their own earpiece, so it was up to you to maintain it, so shit's not being passed around. So I mean,
Just
from a communication standpoint, like if you have ownership of said equipment, you're going to look after it. I mean, yeah, you get a different radio, but you plug your own headset in. I mean, simple things like that, I think, would have made a big difference for communications, and just
yeah,
like just like I
proper
said,
care.
HF and the ability to have like HF and TACSAT, so we could actually communicate when we were further than a kilometer from anything, right?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
that
And like
was
Ryan says, Plan B. I don't think there is a Plan B when the crypto dumps. You just keep going. Isn't that what the plan usually is?
well, no, but how many
Yeah.
times Plan B? Like somebody would have like a goddamn Roshan phone.
Okay,
And,
that was
and
let
you're
me tell
calling
you
it.
about that, man. Yeah,
That's true, though. Yeah,
we
yeah, I
I'll tell
forgot
you what,
about that.
put your fucking helmets on. We got called to an IED call for the Americans, and it was the American IED team that got blown up. So we had to go into Arghandab, and I only got 4 vehicles. So we had to go behind this fucking mountain. Short story for everybody is we had no radio communication back to the mothership, which means I'm on the Roshan phone, which is the cellular network in Afghanistan, and it's quite affordable for everybody out there. If you're thinking of going to Afghanistan anytime soon,
Yeah.
their cell phone plans are quite affordable. So yeah, that kind of tech would have been fucking handy because
Dependable and affordable.
it was a piece of shit. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I said those phones were dependable and affordable. Like,
Yeah, they worked
I think
everywhere.
I don't know if I went anywhere in that country and didn't have cell reception. Christ,
No,
I can't even go to the end of my street, and I live in the middle of Edmonton. I can't get cell reception for fuck's
yeah,
sake.
no, I
Exactly.
had better cell
Go inside
service,
the grocery
better
store.
cell service in Afghanistan through Roshan, and fucking like I might have paid $100 for 7 months.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Right?
100%.
They
Yeah.
kept feeding you credits and everything, but yeah, man. I mean, sorry I missed it. My dog was having a fucking minute there. He's got dementia and shit, and doesn't know where he is, and half the time he's got to piss.
Well,
It's kind of like me, a little bit fucked up.
well, he's got to cut down on the fucking pilsners.
I'm gonna
It's
get him
that
on the
free range
filter.
water, hey?
His mama needs to get him his meds, but she's
Yeah.
picking him up. She's picking him up tomorrow, so he'll have his meds. But yeah, I mean, fuck, there's lots of cool shit. I mean, you go back to the '80s, all we wanted was Gore-Tex.
Yeah,
Or the
Yeah, and then
90s,
you got it.
early
It
90s, it's
sucked.
fucking
like I mean, I guess from another like tech point of view, I mean, just I've been kind of privileged being like in the sniper world because we've got our own procurement system, so we have slightly different equipment than the rest of the army. But
Yeah.
I mean, like I think we're the only army in the world that still wears a fucking frag vest. Like everybody else is wearing a plate carrier with standalone plates, so you have better range of movement in your arms. Things like that. So I mean, back in the day, things that I would like to have seen is like a proper plate carrier with plates that don't weigh like 20 pounds each. I mean, you can get plates now that weigh next to nothing, and they offer like 10 times the level of protection of the ones that our soldiers are currently using. You know?
Yeah, we haven't phased them out or sent them to Ukraine yet. So
No, exactly. So like that like the type of tech that I'd like to see would be like if you're talking about body armor, like a proper helmet,
PPE.
proper, ballistic eyewear, things that are actually, they're
I would
a
just
bit
work on
more.
some good boots.
Oh Jesus, don't talk about boots.
No,
How
no,
many
yeah.
how many
Boots should be
pairs
an
of
easy
boots
one.
did we field test that were
Listen, man,
just
the
garbage?
troops can go buy their own fucking boots now, so that's a dead
Yeah.
issue. So if the
So
troops,
it is a dead issue, but it
if
should
Buddy
be a
goes
simple
and buys
fix.
shitty boots, well, fuck him then. My boots suck. Well, that's on you, dude. You went and bought
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Wow. To not have to think about what kind of shitty boots do I have to bring to the field. That'd be amazing.
But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of that's low tech stuff that Morgan's talking about, but it's accurate. Like our body
Yeah.
armor, and they kept adding more shit onto it, not fucking lightening it.
I mean, even
Right.
other things like look at the good old the 84 millimeter the recoilless rifle that we have. I mean, what we're using are these fucking not even know what type I can't remember what type of like heat wrap rounds and shit like that, stuff from like the 70s. There's ammunition that's been developed for that's absolutely like incredible. Like there's aluminum rounds, there's like Hesh rounds, there's all kinds of crazy ammunition for these things
that you can fire out of that 84.
Yeah, to actually bring it like into the 21st century.
No. Well, hey, listen, we just bought 88 F-35s, man.
Yeah, but the only problem with those F-35s is that like even Congress has said like they're too expensive and there's a lot of problems right now with them and we don't even know how to fix these problems. So I'm like,
I know I was reading that.
I'm not saying it's not a good buy. I'm saying like if U.S. Congress is kind of doubting buying these goddamn things, or I'm like, we don't have, that'd be like the three of us. Like I could go and finance a fucking Ferrari today. I'm sure the bank would give me financing for it. But God forbid if I had to replace the brake pads on it, I'd never be able to afford it.
Well, it'll end up being
or if I
so
had to do an oil change on it, I'd be like, what the fuck do we do now? And that's essentially like anybody can buy a Ferrari, but nobody can afford to maintain it.
So Canada being Canada will do what it did with the F-18s, and like where half of them are fucking cannibalized to fix the other half. That's exactly what will happen. I'll bet anybody watching or listening to this a case of fucking beer, because yes, there are software issues with the F-35. There are some hardware issues with the F-35. It's expensive kit. However, it is the fucking Gen 5 aircraft going forward, and as much as those things are a problem, I'm still happy we got it and we didn't go to keep buying other people's shit they want to get rid of.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Said, of the 88, we'll have a third of them in the air, another third to fucking rip the parts off because they'll be backlogged or we can't afford them. And then you'll have some for training. Like I'm telling you right now, there'll be 2 squadrons, however many, I think it's 12. Is it 24? Whatever the fuck it is in a fighter squadron, whatever it is, you're going to have an operational squadron out of Cold Lake in Alberta and an operational squadron out of Bagotville in Quebec. That is fucking all you're going to see in defending the airspace of Canada out of those 88. And we don't get those 88, all of them at the same time. We buy some at a time, then a few more, then a few more, then a few more, all the way out to like 32 or 36. Like,
I think it's 32.
Aren't we? Isn't it where there's a point where we bring them all in and they go through them and put Canadian issued stuff that needs to go in there too?
Not really. The big driver behind that aircraft is interoperability, because we will never ever go into any major conflict alone. Like that's just, everything is now joint. So it'll always be a coalition force. So the whole point is to get NATO all flying the same thing. And if you understand the tech behind it, it's like a big networked aircraft that immediately, if you have all your mission package and loaded into this thing, and then you hook up with buddies from Germany or wherever, you just fucking beam all the shit to them and they have all the same target data as you. Or there's an AWACS out there that's doing all the big mission planning in the airspace. I'm not an Air Force fucking guy, but I have seen Top Gun about like 300 fucking times.
So have I.
right? And
sounds like you know exactly what you're saying, dude. Keep going.
I've done
Keep
some
going.
research on it, right? So the AWACS can beam everybody flying that platform but wait, there's more. If Canada hasn't bought this shit, but the US have it, there's ground packages that can be fitted into like an army command post on the ground that can field real-time recce data to the plane directly. Like boom, 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 whack. Not this getting on your this fucking whatever radio we used to talk to aircraft with and sending them shit. You just send this stuff digitally to the aircraft from the ground. So maybe your forward observer or sorry, what's the term now? JTAC. Back when my day it was called a FAC. Joint Tactical Air whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah, Joint Tactical Air Controller.
Or an air controller. I used to call in bombs from F-18s, old school on the radio by putting an artillery smoke round, sending the guy the data, and he'd fly him in, I'd talk him through it, and then he'd drop a bomb and usually miss until they upgraded the avionics. That shit's fucking antiquated. Now, if they have the right stuff on the ground, they can just program it all in and then fucking hit sand and whack. It's on everybody flying F-35, the entire squadron, or the joint air thing has all that information. It gets a fucking high-tech shit. And buddies, like that helmet, it's all VR, or not VR, it's all like the HUD's built into the helmet. If he's locked onto a plane, he doesn't have to maintain that little thing anymore. If that plane goes over there, he looks to the right, it still maintains that lock. He can still track it. It's fucking wild, man. But yeah, it's a lot of money. What else? What else did I miss? You guys were talking about fucking new socks and boots while I was getting my dog.
No, my big thing, like tech wise, that I said, like actual tech wise, would have been, you know, better communications equipment. And by that I mean, like, we're using like fucking VHF, UHF. If we could have had like even HF radios that were crypto capable or TACSAT, you know, to allow us to actually, you know, communicate effectively. Especially for guys, for like reconnaissance soldiers and snipers that are going to be, you know, way ahead of the main body.
Yeah.
So
yeah, no, I agree with that. I mean,
because if you can't communicate, you're fucking dead in the water, right? So
yeah, 100%.
Yeah, comms is always a big one.
Yeah. So I mean, even to go along with that, Chris, with the comms part of it, I said to Bryce, like, imagine if, like, as a soldier, you were issued like your own earpiece and your own throat mic that was yours. So now you got a bit of pride of ownership. And then when you get a new radio, you plug your headset into it, so you know you're not getting some broken ass headset, right? When you go from vehicle to vehicle, radio to radio.
I was pretty happy with the PRR. I'm not gonna lie, for what it was, but there's definitely better shit out there.
Yeah, but if it was something that was a bit better, right?
And I'll tell you what, here's some tech that is in the oil and gas industry that isn't even new. Somebody showed me this in the 90s, and it's a headset that doesn't go in your ear. It goes over your temple, and it's like God is talking to you. It beams the shit right to your eardrum. It was unbelievable, man. My buddy Marcel had this thing, and he had it for work. So because he needed, for whatever reason, he needed his ears open. And there's these two black discs, plugs into the radio. They sit like here, and that shit is beamed into your fucking brain, man.
Yeah. For some reason, that just doesn't seem right.
It was
that seems like it's gonna kill you for some reason.
Weird.
Yeah.
But I mean, it lets you, like, if you're in combat and there's a lot of shit going on, explosions and fucking missiles flying.
It will increase your situational awareness.
Right, your SA, because your ears also help you balance, right? Like cat's whiskers. If you're and this thing's, you can hear your guys talking right into your like fucking like stereo over any other sound. And then you still have what's going on. So we had these bullshit Surefire earplugs that would only close during, you know, however many decibels and everything, but nobody fucking wore those. We can't hear anything because you can't wear ear protection while you're in fucking combat. You need to be able to communicate with your guys. So if you have a personal radio, PRR we call it, you got an earpiece about this big with a mic down to here, with a little radio about that big. Like this is fucking good kit by our standards. But you can't. Now you're only hearing what the fuck's going on out of one ear. It's really not the best. So that thing was pretty cool. And that's not even new shit, man. But we will never see that. Too much money. Remember, everything your military gets is the lowest bidder that meets the minimum requirement of the tender of the contract. Unless you're snipers or special spec ops who go, well, we need this, and then hopefully you'll get it.
Bone conducting earbuds is what Jennifer said. That's
really?
interesting.
She knows what that
Sounds
is.
freaky.
It's fucking
Bone
awesome. Is what it
conducting
is.
Earbuds.
Can you
That
guys hear
sounds
my
really
dog?
interesting. Yeah.
Hang on.
He's saying hi.
He's talking to all his friends. And I think the window's closed, so I don't know who he's barking at. No, he's barking at the front door. I didn't like my dog will bark at anything. He should be a sniper. If it's 3 kilometers away and moving, he's fucking sending rounds, man. So you gotta like close all the blinds and shit when you're doing a pod, because he will just find something to look out the window, and then he's just stuck on send the whole time.
That's
But
all right.
whatever.
Let him-
He's having a fucking good time, so that's all that matters. All right. We've covered all the military bullshit. Nobody wants to hear that anymore. So we talked about the tech you bought last year. What's your next tech purchase going to be? Maybe it's a new TV. Maybe it's going to be one of those fucking Apple Watches that I would throw against a brick wall.
I'm actually upgrading. I'm going to buy a new phone. I'm not
Are
sure
you?
what kind of phone. Yeah, I'm due.
what
I'm
are you
not sure
running,
if
an
I'm
iPhone 4 or what?
No, I've got an iPhone Pro of some kind. I don't know, 11 and a half or 13 or something. The fuck, whatever it was. It's
Okay.
2.5 years old. It stopped working because the new iPhone came out. My volume doesn't turn up. It doesn't link to my truck anymore. Like none of that nonsense. So I have to go.
No, Apple does that shit on purpose.
Oh, absolutely. They do. You know, I just wish it would come back on the consumer instead of just having to upgrade or buy a new phone is what it was. But I'm going to go and spend like 8 hours in the store now and hating every moment of it. And probably
I'm on
lose
that-
half
I'm
of
on
my
that,
contacts.
I'm on that rental thing. Like I don't buy my phones anymore because I had a junk drawer full of Blackberries and LGs and fucking crap phones. It's like a phone museum. So when this thing, and this is an iPhone, whatever, 2 years old. So my contract's up in July. I send this back. They send me the newest one, and I just rent it. I do that forever because as much as I know Apple fucks with you to buy their new shit, I'm swallowed the Apple Kool-Aid. I'm in the Apple ecosystem because when I come in my house, my phone, my laptop now that I just got, and my Mac Mini all link up. And I'm like, I fucking love that shit. And a lot of people don't. And all you fucking Samsung Android people, like, I don't want to hear your shit.
It is a whole culture in itself.
And there's like
yeah.
these fucking BlackBerry hanger-oners that are still rocking Blackberries. Like they're gonna make
there
one more
is.
before they fucking die again. And like
Somebody will
weird
buy them out again.
man. I love BlackBerry back in the day. I really did, but it just died. So you're gonna get a new phone. That's what you're doing. Morgan, what are you gonna get? A can opener? Or
I don't know. I might put.
That's too high speed.
I might put a new set of cams and a Thundermax in my 09 Dyna. Hop it up a bit because I got to check the cam chain tensioners now because I'm at 80,000 kilometers. So the cam chain
Thundermax.
tensioners could be poached, but if I'm going to take it apart, I might
I gotta-
throw a set of like Reaper triple deuce cams and a
And a stage
said,
2.
yeah, stage 2.
Some
Yeah.
uppers.
Fancy stage 3.
Well, I've actually got a stage 2 with upper cam work for sale too, so we'll have to talk.
Oh, look at that.
Used one season, didn't like
I
it.
got-
But you're running a Milwaukee 8, right?
Ah, shit, yes.
Yeah. See, I'm running.
I got
20
a surf.
even they don't even make my motor anymore. So for the record, I do have a Samsung phone, and it's like going on 6 years old. It works fine.
I know you do because in our group chat, your replies always come separately to me.
Yeah, yeah, mine too. Yeah,
Right. I want to.
And I couldn't give a shit. If I could go back to like a rotary dial phone attached to my wall with a cord on it and no cell phone, I'd be happy.
T9
When people like me
texted
can't get a
good.
hold of you, I'm like, that's because I'm out of my home and I'm fucking busy.
Like in the
Yeah.
movies where everybody's rocking burner phones right from the fucking 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
that's all
pager.
you.
Just page me.
Or the pager.
I had a
yeah.
pager on Y2K. I might put a tuner in my bike. I don't know. We'll see. All I'm gonna buy this year is more. I gotta cut down. I bought that MacBook Pro. It's gonna let me run some editing software on both systems without having to get more licenses. So that's kind of a bonus. Anything you buy off the App Store, like Final Cut Pro, is $400, but I can run it on any fucking as many things as I have an Apple ID on. I can run it on that. There's no extra. Oh, you have to get another license and all that bullshit. Wow. JT, fucking Mr. fucking timeliness himself. Let's bring him. Here's the tech guy has finally arrived, kids. No,
Maybe he's kind of showed up.
He's on his phone.
Looks like the tech guy's tech shit's bed.
He's he knows about tech, not how to use it. There's a big difference.
Oh,
like that guy that researches everything about it and can tell you about it, and then you hand it to him and he doesn't have a fucking clue how to make it work. Sorry, JT, I let you in, bud, but there's you got no connection. You got a red bar. That's why you can't get in. Okay, so JT might not be the highest tech guy, and he's just in time for us to wrap this shit up. I gotta punch him out until he sorts his life out. Yeah, I don't know. I think the bulk of my tech is going to be to. I'm setting up a business now. A new company to just do video production and all that shit. So it's going to be pretty much into audio and video, but I'm going to slow down and make more educated purchases.
Oh, nice.
No, you can text me all day. I'm not answering, bud. So that's about it for this year. I don't know. What are you people out there going to buy this year? Fuck all, because inflation's through the roof and you can't afford nothing.
Oh yeah, the only thing I'm going to be buying is gas so I can ride my fucking bike.
Yeah, exactly.
That's about it.
There he is.
Hey,
he made it in.
Oh God, gentlemen, can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
You're like a commercial.
I am a commercial.
You're like that Geico commercial where the lizard's trying to talk and then Buddy jumps on. Is Bev on the line? Can you guys fucking hear me? And there's 8 minutes left in the show. Hang on, I got to sort this out. There we go. Okay, we need a guy, a Tango Golf. That's that guy. You're that guy. What tech shit did you buy this year, JT? You're supposed to be the tech guy.
Oh, buddy, I got a lot of stuff. So this year, did Mac Mini. Great piece of kit. Along with the Mac Mini, got a Surface Pro. Got the AirPods as well. Probably one of the best devices, especially with actually talking and using your phone.
AirPod Pros are in some fucking asshole's house in Brantford, Ontario.
That's junk.
Yeah.
Other piece of tech too is I got a light to beautify myself here, which isn't working because if you connect the light to a USB a monitor and the monitor times out, it no longer has power. So that was an epic fail there. Two LG screens and did dual monitors with my Mac Minis. So yeah, I also got an iWatch as well. Wouldn't necessarily recommend that.
No.
What you need to invest in is a new upgraded router now because your internet fucking blows, brother. No
That's
offense.
why you and Morgan are on the bottom of the screen because you both have dog shit fucking internet. Everything's jittery and fucking junk.
That's why everyone was so quiet then.
Am I still that bad?
You guys are good, yeah.
Well, yeah. I don't know I don't know what it is. It's something we got to work on. We're always it's called continuous improvement. We're continuously improve the tech.
We have to get this motley crew together to create a podcast all together too. I think spill some beer or something.
I agree. I got to figure out the tech behind that, and I want to find a location to do it. We'll have to come up with something, put something together.
Yeah. Even your kitchen table with 4 individual mics were capturing everything. Wouldn't be too tough.
Yeah, it can be put together. We can do it here.
We'll cram everybody in my shitter.
Yeah, we got your shitter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. We do have to do that. And I really wanted to do it around Christmas time, but there's just way too much fucking shit going on.
I got a 10x6 trailer that we could hotbox if you guys really want to get going.
Yeah.
We could set up some cameras at an angle.
There need some
watch
routers,
everybody.
man.
We'll sit
Need
by
some
somebody's
routers.
house and get the Wi-Fi. It's fine.
So for everybody watching, I promised that I would get these guys together to have to war game how we're gonna do the pod this year. We're always open to ideas and suggestions, format, content, guests. If you got anything value add, DM me on my social media or leave some comments in the comment section on YouTube after this. You guys, most of the people watching this know how to get a hold of me. I want to continuously evolve this thing and make it better from a content perspective, from a tech perspective, from how we run it, when we run it, all that shit. So it's 23.
Maybe
we're just gonna
some,
keep getting better.
maybe some educational cannabis
Fucking
sessions.
listen, buddy.
Maybe
If that's what the listeners want, maybe. I told you,
Drop it in the comments, everybody. Let's
you
hear
get
it.
your fucking own pod going.
I
No
do.
problem.
I
But
do.
if that's
Yeah.
a topic, sure. Okay, last thing I want to talk about. Joe Biden is banning gas stoves.
I heard that got nixed though. I heard they're like he
No, but
was, but then they're kind of like.
So here's my concern with that is that Trudeau will want to ban stoves next. And then he's going to come out with a buyback program.
There'll be an
can't-
order in council.
New order in
Gas
council.
stoves are killing the
You can't
world.
transport your gas stove down the road. You can't buy one anymore. All the gas stove guys will be fucking waving their arms in the air. And my gas
is
stove
it?
will be banned. And he'll do a buyback program. I think
When's
JT's
your
having-
next cooking show? That's actually a good question.
You know what? That's a great point. I've been thinking about that. Probably in the next couple weeks. And I want to base it on the price
What
of
are you cooking?
fucking groceries are off the hook and how to cook good food cheap.
And then what about do a food bank cheap?
Well, that's another one I want to
Sure.
do is get
Grab a
a,
hamper and
get
go
a
from there.
hamper and do a video to help a lot of these guys who that's great. You give him a hamper, but if he doesn't know how to fucking use it,
Yeah.
like what's in it. And
They
then it says-
actually, well, you know what? Delivery day is this Saturday for the Veterans Association Food Bank. So if you get your, you talk to somebody at the food bank, Chris, there's no reason why they couldn't fire you one for demo purposes, so you could make some content. And
yeah, I'll be
try-
gone this
put a-
Saturday in Hamilton, but
we'll make
Fuck,
something
if I-
work. That's
you
easy.
get
enough.
one. I'd really like to do that.
We'll
And-
find a
and-
single one. There's not a problem.
Yeah.
There's always
Well, I
extras.
want to do. Yeah, I want to do the flying kitchen thing again. It's been on the burner, man. There's been a lot of shit happening, and
Yeah.
but I really enjoy doing it because I record it, so it's easy, right? And I want to get
There you
another guest on and do another recorded episode. We've only done 3, and that's with you 3 guys.
And Danielle in the comments too. She wants to help as the cheap cooking queen.
Oh, done deal. We'll
Yeah. Who
remote
do we get
in.
for a guest? Do we get someone with a special background, military wise, or
I
do you
don't know.
want somebody with a senior officer perspective who's floating around? There's several of those in the Edmonton area too. Someone like Mr. Campbell. Someone.
I don't know. You have to have engaging content, and talking to senior officers is not really high on my fucking list when it comes to that.
Oh,
No.
I was gonna get. Actually, the guy I want to get is Bruce Nickel.
Okay. Yeah.
Why do you
Calgary,
why Bruce?
Yeah. He's an author.
Because he's an
He
author.
is.
He's got an engaging personality, and then
Yeah.
we'll segue it into that conversation that you and we wanted to have.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
But I'm open to suggestions. Like I want to start building a list of guys that want to come on, have something to say, like have a story they want to tell. Not just some flop head fucking whistle head that whatever. Sorry if
What
there's any of
about,
those.
We should have a veteran entrepreneur who's in business, who's flourishing of some kind. There's always a coffee brand of some kind that we could. There's a veteran that we could talk to.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, we'll
another
figure it out.
brand. There must be
Anyway, this
someone.
feels like a fucking offline conversation. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in tonight. Yeah, big year coming up. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Little disjointed. I apologize. We're a little bit rusty, but it's been a while, and I'm sorry I didn't get to the contents. I'm having some technical issues because I cannot use my MacBook Pro up here, and I'm stuck with the Surface Pro 6, which is working okay right now, but it's not the best. And by the way, it's for sale. So thanks for joining in. I will do better at getting to your comments later on. We will talk again next week for sure. I will be in Hamilton, Ontario, and the Niagara region this weekend. Sounds like it's a busy weekend, according to my overlord. Speaking of that, Mr. Dean Blundell. This podcast and many others are brought to you by DeanBlundell.com. Go to DeanBlundell.com for Canada's largest digital source of sports news and all kinds of zany fucking shit. It's also brought to you by Positive Mike's Brewing Company. You can get Mike's gear, and a select lucky few of us can get his beer, and we've been doing a good job of bootlegging it out to you. So hopefully you get an opportunity, if you're here or with me or with some other people, get a chance to drink Mike's beer. Try it out. Also brought to you by Above Your Service, and fucking Bryce hasn't sent me the logo, so you don't get to see it. And last but never least, the good folks at Lakeside Farmstead, Jeff Noney and his family have been running this family-owned business north of Edmonton, producing unbelievably amazing dairy products and the best Wagyu cross beef you're ever going to eat, and they supply Edmonton and area. So that's it. That's a wrap. Thank you, everybody, for putting up with our shit, and we'll see you in a week.